My English name is Chase Hu, and my Chinese name is Hu Wenxuan. I was born in Shanghai. I like big ideas. I like thinking about ideas that have a potential big impact in the world. I want to end up being somewhere where I can make a big impact in many people's lives. Harvard might have been a dream of mine, but it was a very far-fetched dream. In fact, when I applied to colleges, I didn't even really rank Harvard because you think of it as one of those things that, it's not going to happen. And then that's why I was very surprised when I got in. I think my parents are pretty surprised too. My parents were actually, they weren't the stereotypical tiger parents per se, but they definitely instilled a spirit of education in me. And what I mean by that is they would always kind of promote education as the way to achieve success in life. The reason my parents decided to move to America when I was very young was mainly because of jobs. They had heard all these great stories about how America is this land of opportunity. When I was 2 years old, my dad came to the States to get his PhD. My mom left about a year later. She told me that she was going to the airport to drop off a friend. And then she came back 2 years later. So I stayed with my grandparents for about 2 to 3 years. My mom came back. She brought me to the States. My childhood memories are very scattered because I moved around so much. I think I went to probably 10 different schools before coming to college. We lived in Ohio for a little bit. We went to Toronto in Canada, where my little brother was born. We moved to South Carolina, we moved to Michigan, we moved to Florida, and then we moved to Georgia, and now I'm here in Massachusetts. It's very hard to say how I got into Harvard. I think one of the major things is really my sense of initiative. I'm definitely someone who wants to take advantage of all the opportunities that I have access to. During high school when, for example, I would do pretty well academically, but I would also compete in our math competitions and then play varsity lacrosse. But above that, I think it was that I spent a lot of my high school taking care of my little brother and sister. There are certain times where I felt like I was definitely taking responsibility for something that I may not have especially been ready for. So for example, and I wrote this in my college application actually, there was one time when my little brother, I was home with my little brother and sister alone. He, for God knows what reason, started passing out on the floor and telling me that he couldn't breathe. If I'm the only one home, what do? I dragged him to the bathroom. I tried to get him to breathe. I tried to get him to drink water. I called my mom because she worked about 5 minutes away. Thankfully, he was all right. Yeah, the incident taught me so much about kind of stepping up, about life isn't really, you prepare and then you do something. It's really things come at you and you just have to learn how to face them and deal with them. And then, if mistakes happen, then you really have to learn from them.
Chase, where are you eating from this? Triple senior dinner.
Yeah. And I've had the opportunity to come to Harvard and be exposed to a constant stream of great ideas. One group of people who have really inspired me is the Asian American community at Harvard. I had the privilege of being the president of the Asian American Association for a year, and I got to interact with so many members across Harvard's Asian American kind of community that really broadened my perspectives on race relations in the US and what it means to be an Asian American. Because I think kind of moving from China when I was 5 and then being thrown to the States and then always moving around, I never really solidified an understanding of what it was to be Asian American until I came here and got to interact with all these people. I'm actually graduating with 2 degrees this May. I'm graduating with a bachelor's in economics and a master's in applied math. After graduation, I'm going off to New York. I'll be working for 2 years as an analyst for Deutsche Bank in their markets division. My family has been chasing the American dream, and hopefully I can be a part of my family's American dream, kind of taking the hard work and the education, and then really helping our family, helping society.